London, the city that refused to die. London feels eternal. A city of stone, glass, and memory. But London was not born to last. It was built, destroyed, abandoned, burned, bombed. And rebuilt again. More than once. This is the story of a city that refused to disappear. Long before London became a capital. Before kings, parliaments, and skyscrapers. The land beside the River Thames was quiet. Tribes lived here. They traded. They crossed the river. But there was no city. Everything changed in the year 43. That was when the Roman Empire arrived. The Romans did not choose this place for beauty. They chose it for strategy. The Thames was wide, deep, and navigable. Perfect for ships. Perfect for trade. They built a bridge. They built roads. They built a port. And they gave the settlement a name. Londinium. London was born not as a capital, but as a business decision. At first, it grew fast. Merchants arrived. Goods flowed through the port. But within 20 years, Londinium was almost destroyed. A rebellion led by Queen Boudica swept through Roman Britain. The city was burned to the ground. The Romans returned. They rebuilt it stronger, larger, fortified. Stone walls rose around the city. Temples, baths, and forums filled the streets. By the 2nd century, Londinium was one of the most important cities in Roman Britain. Then, slowly, the empire began to collapse. Roman legions withdrew. Administration vanished. Trade dried up. By the 5th century, Londinium was almost empty. Stone buildings crumbled. Roads cracked. Nature reclaimed the streets. For a time, London stopped being a city. It became a ghost. Centuries passed. New people arrived, the Anglo-Saxons. They did not settle inside the Roman ruins at first. Instead, they built nearby. Trade returned. Markets formed. The river came back to life. London was reborn quietly. But survival was never easy. Viking raids struck the city repeatedly. Ships came down the Thames. Fire and violence followed. London learned to defend itself. Walls were repaired. The city hardened. By the time the Vikings faded, London had become too important to ignore. Then came the year 1066. William of Normandy invaded England. He won the Battle of Hastings. London resisted him. So William did what conquerors do best. He built a fortress. The Tower of London rose beside the river. Not to protect the city, but to control it. From this moment on, London became the heart of power. Money flowed through its markets. Law and authority settled in its streets. By the Middle Ages, London was England's most important city. Crowded. Noisy. Dangerous. By the Tudor era, London exploded in size. People poured in from the countryside. Houses stacked higher and tighter. Streets grew filthy and cramped. But culture flourished. This was Shakespeare's London. Theaters rose on the riverbanks. Ideas spread as fast as disease. And disease was everywhere. Plague returned again and again. Then, in 1665, it struck harder than ever. The Great Plague killed tens of thousands. And before the city could recover, disaster struck again. In 1666, a small fire broke out in a bakery. Fueled by wooden houses and narrow streets, the fire spread uncontrollably. 4 days, London burned. Most of the medieval city was destroyed. But from the ashes, something new emerged. London was rebuilt in brick and stone. Wider streets. Stronger buildings. Fire had erased the past and reshaped the future. In the centuries that followed, London rose higher than ever. It became the largest city in the world, the heart of a global empire. Ships arrived from every continent. Gold, spices, ideas, and people flooded in. Banks, factories, and railways transformed the city. But power came at a cost. Smoke filled the air. Slums spread in the shadows of wealth. London was rich and brutal. Still, it endured. The 20th century brought a new kind of fire. War. During the Second World War, bombs fell from the sky. Night after night, the city burned again. Entire neighborhoods vanished. But London survived. After the war, it rebuilt once more. This time as a modern city. Glass towers rose beside Roman roads. Medieval churches stood near steel bridges. Layers upon layers of history stacked together. Today, London is not one city. It is many. A Roman port. A medieval stronghold. An imperial capital. A modern global metropolis. You can walk its streets and cross centuries in minutes. London is proof that cities are not defined by how they begin, but by how they survive. This city should not exist. And yet, it does.